Okie dokie. What's the countdown time? Michael? I can't hear you now. So what's going on with this tonight? Are you there?
I can hear you, yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, why is it not? Hang on, we're supposed to be shut. Anyway, the countdown timer does. Let's try the magic portal smoke. No, they don't. They're not playing, are they?
I don't know what's going on actually. Can you let it count down? Oh, hello. I don't know what's going on. Dave, where are you? Have I been? I don't know what's happening. There he is. Where is he? There he is. I was getting a little bit concerned for you, darling. I thought you'd been abducted or something. Finally landed.
We just had some very big technical issues. Now, nice to see you, Mikey. Looking as suave and as debonair as always. Guys, I want to start tonight's show off with a video that I've just watched. Now, if you're in Australia, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, this is coming to you wherever you like it or not. These things will be coming. So let me just share this screen. This was sent to me earlier by a good friend of mine called Connie. And I want you to watch this in its entirety. It's a few minutes long, but this is what's going on in Australia. Let's just open that one up. Right, so what's this?
What is going on here? What's this we have going on here? What's this bit of machinery? That Army, Navy. What's going on, guys? Oh, shutting up shop. What's this fucking thing? Put this out to the people. What the fuck is this? What is this, guys? Well, what is it? What's this bit of machinery here? What's this? Good, mate. How are you going? What's this bit of machinery you got going here? Is it an L-rad or something like that, is it? Is it? Well, what's this thing? Do you mind if I go past the cones and have a look?
No, I do. It's dangerous.
What is it? It's dangerous.
Yeah.
What is it?
Just radio detection.
Radio detection? Bullshit, mate. What the fuck is this?
Radio detection.
I don't believe you.
Okay, don't believe it.
I don't believe you, mate. I got fucking sores and shit coming up over my fucking lips and she pricks around here. Oh, well. What? Why don't you fucking go home? Instead of firing fucking energy weapons at fucking public fucking civilians, you fucking goose. The fuck are you to tell me to go home? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You work for the government, obviously. Report. Who are you? You fucking someone. Radio hazard on the back of the van. Radiation hazard. Thanks, mate. Glad you can fucking read, you goose. But you're an enemy to the fucking public of this country. What's your name, son? Go hide your fucking back. He's being smart-ass fucking prick. Radiation energy against fucking the public of this country. You're a fucking dog, mate. People will recognise you. Yeah, we're nobodies, aren't we? No one sees what we do. Fucking a lot of people see what we do, brother. What guys are here to see me? What? I know these guys. How are you, boys? What's this radiation? What's this sign here? I'm not, mate. I'll stay right back. But it's a bit rough, isn't it? What is happening here? And then radiation hazard, and it's all powering out of this van. Where's the number plate on this fucking van? No. Not getting no photo. No selfies with me, brother. Oh, really? No selfies with me. Where's your rego plates? Why is your rego plate covered? This is fucking disgrace, mate. Where's your rego? Yeah, well, let me get the rego plate at the front, mate. You're hiding the back. What's your company you work for? Is this the government? Obviously government. Queensland state. Yep. You've traitor fucking crossed 2 states to get to us, have you traitor bastard? This is what's happening in Canberra, people, and these are the people that are powering the weapons against us. You fucking rats. Here it is. Who's going to get cold sores? Who's going to get cold sores tonight? I bet you all are. Your lips are going to crack. This is disgusting. This is a high-powered energy weapon being used against the Australian people. Come and check it out.
So, yeah, we can make of that what we want. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know what it is, Dave. You see that picture of the back? Alan's getting really upset about it.
Well, so I can't change it. I can't change it. I can't change it.
Anyway. So, if that's what they using it for? Do we know? Any ideas?
Well, it could be the 5G, couldn't it? It could be. Let's see what the people say in the chat room. If you've got any comments on what I've just shown you, I mean, these things is and when they all clam up, you see, if that was something that was just they wouldn't perform the way they're performing, like getting in the back of the van and shutting the door and pulling their hats down and going all cagey, would they? If you weren't up to no good, you wouldn't care who was taking your picture. You just wouldn't, would you?
No, you wouldn't. There is another way of looking at it. To try and be objective, none of those people seem to be walking around seem to be worried about it.
There is that. Yeah, there is that. But you don't know what they've been told, do you? I mean,
or whether it's been turned on.
Hang on. You go to brand and hide the background. Right, let's hide the background. Show display. Background. It's not coming up with any. I don't know how to do that. Let's have a look.
Jason needs to do it. I think she has to change the picture. He's upsetting Alan anyway, particularly after what happened. So
yeah.
Anyway, so perhaps Jason, if Jason's listening, he'll change it for us.
Yeah, I can't seem to do. I'm trying show display names, which we've got. It's come up with that for the last few weeks, and I've been trying to change it, but I'm not that technically bloody minded. Let's have a look at banners. Let's see if I can do it through banners. No, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of that backing picture.
Oh well, we tried hard anyway. All right. Okay. Well, look. Anyway, so let's get back to this. I mean, because unless those people seem to be nonchalantly walking around, the police didn't seem to be too bothered about it.
No.
That's been objective. Now, if this is a 5G thing and they're testing it out, what are they testing it? How are they testing it out? Have they got people all over the place, like checking the signal, or what are they doing? I mean, it's a bit of a mind twister, because unless somebody get on here, and hopefully, because there's a lot of clever people on here, can identify what it is, or give us an idea what it is, then we're going to sort of be sitting there scratching our heads, thinking, what the fuck,
Yeah.
But I mean, Australia have done some pretty god-awful things to their population over the last 2 years, 3 years, and it seems to be getting worse and worse. I mean, and if you really want to know how bad it is, Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand, she's just about to lose her job. She's going to get voted out. She wanted to do this thing about COVID. Nobody gets COVID. I'm going to save lives. I'm going to shut the country down. Yeah, she shut the country down. Now, fucking destroyed the economy. So she's not just saved a few lives. She's destroying the lives of hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders because they're skin. They can't do this. They can't do that. So it's a trade-off. So anyway, that's Valencia. Oh, look, we're international. Oh, Dave, I should have worn a tie or a sombrero.
Yeah. Have you seen what's gone on in the with regards to the drag? I've got to be careful what I say. We're going out on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to get a block. They got the old, like Danny LaRue's and that, how they used to dress up and entertain us all. They were good. Danny LaRue and Liberace, they were fabulous. I enjoyed
it. On stage and in like, just like Barry Humphries as Dame Edna, which is fine. What they're complaining about is the fact that they've got drag queens talking to kids of 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, dressed as women, and talking about things that perhaps parents aren't too happy about. Now, I've got no problem with drag queens. I've known 1 or 2 really good ones. I know a lot in Thailand and places like that, where they really go for it big time. And they're in transition, and that's for you to decide what you want to do about it. But however, what people are worried about is, like they are in America, is what they're teaching children about homosexuality, about things that they don't really need to know when they're young. And it seems to me they're trying to brainwash them into accepting the norm, which isn't normal. I'm not suggesting homosexuals aren't normal. I'm not anything on that, but it is a natural thing for a man and a woman to have a relationship and produce children. Two men can't produce children, nor can 2 women. You have to have a man or you have to have a woman. That's it. Now, the other day, I was listening to a program and they were talking about this very thing about what's the definition of a woman. Now, it seems to me that most people in the world, when you say what's the definition of a woman, now Maxine calls it, well, I'm a woman, I produce children, I can produce children, by feeding from my breast. I said, but that's not really telling me what a woman is. Now, all these people that have had their brains twisted by various ways and gone through transition, done all this stuff. I mean, I'm now a woman. The only answer I could come up with, and I thought about it, was in 100 years, when if these 2 people, a man, 2 men, buried together, one went through the change to be a woman, the other guy would say, they'll grow up and say they were 2 men. Or if a bloke, that's it. So you cannot deny that you are born a woman and you cannot become a man. You cannot become a woman. No matter what you do, you can grow your boobs, you can cut your dick off, you can do all that stuff, but you cannot become a woman. It's just physically impossible. You can go. I mean, I know it's very hard and difficult for people to accept when they grow up that they are young and they don't feel comfortable being. They want to be. They identify as a woman, and I've got no problem. And my heart goes out to them because they are born out. But there's nothing you can do really to change your acting. You can't just. As a woman, take a load of hormones, grow a beard, and sit there feeling rather please yourself because you've got a chest hair. But that wasn't natural. That wasn't a natural thing. That's something you had to tablets for and have surgery for. So, so they're not really women. You know, they are. You know, they're not really men. They are still women, no matter what they do. You know, they haven't got a penis. They've got nothing. You know, if they want a penis, they've got to strap one on. You know, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah. But look at it. I mean, I'm looking at this from a logical point of view. Schooling, when we look at the ethos of schooling and what schooling was created for and what education is, education initially and should really primitively be teaching you basics, ABCs, how to count, how to build, how to do whatever. But why is it? Why is school and why are the people that work in schools? How are they comfortable with pushing all the? Now I don't care what the narrative is and what the agenda is, and it's all about agenda. Why are they happily pushing all these agendas on young children that ultimately want to go there, play with their mates, learn a little bit, go home, go to bed, get up and repeat the next day? Why is it so important to get into these when they're so young?
Well, in America, the woke left are starting to feel the backlash of this. You know, in schools now, parents are standing up to say, you know, the school governors are allowing this stuff to stop it. And are taking extreme measures. And the FBI, as you know, and like most people watching this know, started Homeland Security and all that, are looking into people and calling them urban terrorists, basically. Calling them terrorists because they are saying we are not prepared to allow our children to learn about homosexuality when they're 4, 5, 6 years old. And nor would I. That's for something when you're much older and when you fully understand how your body works and everything about it. Nothing wrong with teaching kids about sex education and age, but not when they're toddlers. Let them be children. Let them go and find out what they want to be. Don't force onto them, oh, are you sure you want to be a boy? Because the child's got to go, no, I'd like to be a girl because I like frocks. You know, but when he gets to 15 and he's got his willy and he starts thinking, oh, she's got a nice pair of knockers. I mean, what's in it? And all that's gone. Just like tomboys. Some of the most beautiful women I've ever met were tomboys. You know, and wanted to be boys, but they didn't want to be boys when they got older. When they got in their teens, they started growing, you know, developing into women. You know, and if you're allowed to say that. But I mean, so I don't think it's right for anybody to tell a child or ask a child or force a child at any age whatsoever, do you want to change your gender? Because there are people now coming out, have had it done, and they're regretting it. I had all the work done at a young age, and now they're saying, "Oh my God, what a mistake it is!" There's no going back.
It's stereotypical, right? Because of the world and what it is. Everyone, because of the labour pains of having to work double shifts and that, they always want to come up with these things of what's going to be sensationalism. And that then makes them feel special for a while. And then when that all wears off, it's like buying a brand new car. You have it, you think that's a lovely Ferrari. But in a month when you've had it, it's just the same as some old Ford Escort as you've had out the front. You've got no more sort of feeling.
I take the view. But
all right, that's fine.
Having had Ferraris and Maseratis and all that, you don't quite feel that for a month. It takes a bit of time. But I take the point.
Yeah. So that's why all these people want to fit in, because they say, because then they go out and they go, oh, look at them over there. They're a bit different. And that's because we're not as we're supposed to be anymore. Look, I'm no front, man. I went to a birthday party on Saturday with someone that the missus works with. He's with a guy. They've been, I don't know if they're married. They've been together for a long time. But he's having a few drinks because it's his birthday, and we started chatting about stuff like this. And he's really, really gay, very, very feminine. But he detests all of this LGBT with the rainbow. He detests all the mankini wearing down at Brighton. And he says, we're just so not into that. He said, and we actually find that quite offensive.
Well, just think up to the mid-60s, you could be in prison for it, you know, for homosexuality. You know, and when, funnily enough, the majority of people who are prosecuting you are homosexuals, you know, but there you go.
Yes.
It occurs to me that children should be allowed to be children and let them develop the way that me and you did. Not to say that was a good idea or a bad idea. Be guided, not led, and not coerced.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a fact. So I look at all mums, but I look at kids now going on the street, and you see mums and dads when they're playing their kids, and and that's the way it should be, and let the kids become what they want to be. They want to, if they get to 12, 13, 14, and they say, I'm gay, fine, I'm a lesbian, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But they weren't coerced at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old to start making them make decisions that their bodies and their brains are not ready to accept, nor should they. And anybody who does this, and a lot of teachers who are now joining the profession, are going through this left-wing socialist agenda, which doesn't sit right with me, because they're not there to preach politics. They're there to teach children. What they need to get through life. Well, what they don't teach, and what they should be teaching you is the stuff that doesn't make the slightest difference to you whatsoever when it comes to your sexual orientation. That doesn't get you a job. That doesn't get you through life. All that does is, for when you go home at night and you close the door, is say, "Hello, darling, give us a kiss, John," or "Hello, darling, give us a kiss, Sally," and you're called June. So it makes a difference. So that's for you, and I'm happy for you. But that's not just how it is right now. I mean, like spear throw, so you won't find flags in Russia. You won't find a lot of flags like that anywhere in Muslim countries. It gets back to, what's gone wrong with the West is free speech is fine, but free speech has now become, you're either with us or against us. The woke lefty lovers will just take you out, and they will do all they can to destroy you if you do not agree with them. Just like they're trying to do with Trump in America. They're trying to prosecute Trump through an illegal way, through the Congress, through this January 6th committee, and they are making Trump, trying to arrest him so he doesn't run in 2024. That's all this is about. They stacked this committee with 2 Democrats who are 2 Republicans who are anti-Trump, and everybody in there has voted against Trump. And what they're trying to do him for, he didn't do. There's evidence he didn't do it. Nancy Pelosi, she should have, anyway, I'm not going to get into this, but she should have called out National Guard. She's in charge of security in Washington, and she did nothing. So, anyway, so we don't need to get to that. It's American politics. But
well, there is a silver lining. England is now going to be hosting, we're a host nation next year for the Ukrainian, because they were the winners of the last year's or this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Who would have ever thought that? We're now hosting them, and Boris is saying, "Oh, we're very glad to host." This leader of the Ukrainians that's supposed to be out fighting a war and a statistician, and he's trying to win this war, so-called war against Russia. He's just done an interview, I do believe, with Piers Morgan, and been doing lots of glossy covers in Vogue magazine. Now, I can't quite work this one out myself, personally. What the hell's going on?
Well, I can, because that's what Putin does. Putin's the guy that runs around riding on a horse with his shirt off, showing all the muscles. So basically, he's trying to out Putin. So I think that's all that is. That's just a bit of PR, a little bit of bravado, a little bit of look at me, I'm a tough guy too. So when Putin did it, and Putin's done it all his life, and he's doing the same thing, and that's it. Hi, Chrissy Wiz, how you doing? But that's how it is. So I don't take any notes of that. All I know is that Russia and Ukraine are in a constant slog. Looks to me that Ukraine is trying to turn the wheel a bit more. Russia are running out of ideas. They're running out of conscripts. They're running out of people to fight this pointless war. And what the Ukrainians have done is what I would have done fighting that battle, was to cut off their supply lines. They're just destroying bridges that are taking them into around the Crimea and places like that. So they are trying to cut them off. Now, the only way they can do that is through ships. Now, they're frightened about their ships now because they've got anti-ship missiles, and they've sunk some of the Black Sea flagship. They sunk that some months ago. So the Ukrainians really are on the front foot, and regardless of what the Russians are doing, even if they're taking ground, they're still on the back foot. They've got it all to lose. You see, Ukraine don't have to sort of do too much because they've got world opinion with them. Now, Ukraine isn't isn't a country where I would want to go and live, because it's a totally corrupt society. You only have to look at Hunter Biden for that. Hunter Biden, who's got this, and everything else, perhaps we'll talk about it later on. But Hunter Biden, he was making a lot of money in Ukraine. Ukrainian governments were doing all kinds of stuff to garner influence with his dad. But that's with this laptop and everything else. But that's for something else. But anyway,
Hunter Biden's laptop, wasn't it? It was called Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah, well, the FBI have now the whistleblowers are coming out saying that 50 people in the FBI suppressed the information, called it false information. The Russians have done this. It's all wrong. Now they'll suppress. And so the whistleblowers coming out and said no. And as it's now been proven that they sat on this information, and it was done so Biden would win the election. Now, if it had come out that Biden's son was a coke sniffing guy who was in collusion with the Chinese, in collusion taking money backhanders, his dad was taking money, he'd have lost the election. Who's going to vote for a president who's totally corrupt? Well, they did, and he is, and he has been, and he's been proved to be totally corrupt, and he's been exposed by it. You know, he's the big guy. He's called the big guy. He's lied on camera and said, "I never discussed anything about my son's dealings abroad." And there he is. There he is on phone saying, "It's all right, son. You're in the clear. It's all sorted. You know, nothing to worry about. You know, just take it easy. You know, God bless." So he's been sorted out. Then you see pictures of Biden with the people he suggests he never had anything to do with. There he was standing there, you know, with his arms wrapped around his son, these people, these Chinese, these Russians, all these people, all taking money. So Biden is not standing up to the Chinese as much as he should do because they've got the goods on him. And that's it. And what happened with China now is they're buying up huge amounts of America. In fact, they're buying up so much of it now that the American government must take action because when they're buying it, surprisingly enough, is in Dakota. And in Dakota, and when they're buying it, is where they control all their drones from around the world. And they're also buying it in Texas, around one of the massive American Air Force bases. So there's a question now: should America now tell the Chinese, now we're not going to allow that. We're going to take this. We're going to confiscate this land from you, buy it back from them if you like. And so there's no question of anything untoward going, but we can't allow that. I mean, if you would go to China, can you imagine Americans going to China where they got their secret bases and everything else they're developing, and then say we're going to buy that land right now? It wouldn't be allowed to happen. It's no different than if I went to Islamabad, stood up and said, "I'm a Christian, brothers, come and join me." Would I be allowed to say, how long would I be standing there for?
Not
but
long.
If you go to Speaker's Corner, they almost tear you to pieces. In my country, you've got Muslims who weren't born here coming to my country telling me I can't be a Christian. So and that's a fact. So and that's how it is. And it seems to me that increasingly more and more our rights as the Brits and everything else around the world have been taken away. And this is
who do we trust, Mike? Who do we trust in this country? Who is there that you can go with an open heart and with clean hands and trust them?
You.
Well, yeah, maybe, but in government or the media this week, they've been pumping on the radio that UK's a badly growing economy by the IMF, we're the worst with Russia. Now, I don't see how the people are swallowing this anymore. Surely to God.
It's not about swallowing it, Dave. It's being brainwashed, isn't it? I mean, if you keep saying that, I don't know, Biden's great, he's going to solve all your problems, vote for him. And it goes on and on, just like saying that with Keir Starmer. He's going to say, they're saying it in the media now. We'll get to media in a minute. They're saying it in the media now. Oh, Keir Starmer, he's the guy. He's Keir Starmer. The people are saying that Keir Starmer's going to be the next prime minister. He's the guy we'll all vote for. Well, I haven't seen that. Where have you seen it? Everybody else, I think Keir Starmer's a complete wanker, you know, and not worth $2 bob, and he hasn't got a leg to stand on because he doesn't have any agenda which fits the narrative, which is what we look at someone to take on.
I find it hard to believe anything in the media or the radio, so that's why I treat it with all contempt. I don't think there's anyone in the media, in the newspapers, that's got a shred of morality left. It's just they do what they get told to do, pretty much. There's no genuine reporting out there anymore. There's no genuine journalists, not proper ones that haven't all been bought and paid for. You're seeing some pop up, like Anna Breeze. She left whoever it was. You've seen a little bit like Alex Belfield, but Alex Belfield himself, one of his best mates was Jimmy Savile. And you got to wonder, haven't you? Oh, Bernard Cribbins has passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah, very sad. The railway children will never be the railway children that burn the cribbins. But, having said that, but I mean, the thing is, Dave, since the 70s, while we're talking the media, the Gallup poll have been doing a thing about trust in the media. Okay, at the moment, and this is true, only 11% of people trust the media, trust TV news. 11% of people trust TV. 16% of people trust the printed news. Now, CNN, which has now just thrown out the left-wing lunatic that took CNN to the point of bankruptcy. They've got rid of it, and they put something in and said, "Look, we've got to get back to proper journalism." The 25 to 40s who watch CNN per day, okay, 57,000 people. Now, and that's about from the 25 to 40. They're the figures.
Well, the BBC said, didn't they? The BBC said about a year or two ago, we're going to stop doing the 6 and 10 o'clock news stream because no one's watching it.
No, nobody believes it. I mean, who trusts the BBC anyway? I mean, why would you trust the BBC? You know, when you've got Eric Gill out there, who's a paedophile and everything, raped his daughter and everything else, and he's still got a statue out there. So why have we still got that? You know, the BBC is not fit for purpose. It should go on, do what everybody else has done. It should become, if you want to watch it, pay for it. We pay for it anyway, 100 and something quid. I wouldn't give you £1 a week. In fact, Dave, I've had a letter from them saying to me, you haven't paid your lectures, your light TV license. We want our money. You better pay up, or we'll send the boys round. So I'm waiting for them to come round, knock on the door. I should slam it in their face and just walk away.
Yeah, good for you, mate. I'm trying to get Spearthroat to pop in because Strong Angel's been up the Royal Courts of Justice this week. And he's going to pop in there and give us an update of what's going on. I think this could be quite interesting. Also, Chrissy Morris, there's been some events and some happenings with magistrates' courts this week where magistrates were throwing their toys right out the pram because now we've found a way to strip them of their anonymity and hold them accountable. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get this information out so that people then can go on the attack now. Because, guys and girls, listen, beautiful people, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, we're not sheep. We don't roll over. We either stand strong and stand as men and women are supposed to. Otherwise, we're going to get trampled all over, and I'm not here to be trampled all over. So, yeah, we've got Spear just joined us now, Michael. Say hello to Spear with the little one-eyed monster.
I know, it's a worry, isn't it? We were talking about penises earlier, weren't we?
Well, hey!
Spear, how are you?
Green.
How are you?
Was yours green?
Hey!
I've been playing your song, you look down, like what my picture is. No, yeah, Strong Angel, he had the meeting with the Queen's Bench yesterday.
Right.
He seemed quite positive.
Good.
He couldn't refute what he was asking. What was in the paperwork? He's going to get. He hopes to have a report back for Monday, 9 o'clock on Wake Up, and Screen One will do us another special update, and he can tell you himself exactly what was there. But there was a reporter there as well, because it was one of them that was done over the internet.
Right.
He had a half-hour session.
Oh, so he didn't physically go; it was over a Zoom thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them.
What was it about? Can you say?
Yeah, it's basically based around the Quo Warranto and making sure that the covenant stands. Asking him, is this the law of the land?
Ooh.
A writ of Quo Warranto, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's involved in it.
A writ of Quo Warranto is, I've got that in this website. I'm not going to show you, but this website is called successors.ca, and I paid for the bundle the other day, and I've got all the files. I can't share them. But it's all about land tenures, the Law of Property Act, Quo Warranto, and all these other bits and bobs that you do to sort your status and standing out. So yeah, a writ of Quo Warranto. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it for you.
Oh, good man. Alan will be pleased. He's watching.
What have you done?
He turned the background off for us.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
well done, speech.
You want me to tell you how to do it?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Hey, you know where the countdown is when you start the show?
Yeah.
You click the countdown timer, don't you? Well, we scroll down further than that, and it says there's one that says background, and there's a picture of Sandy and Jane there.
Ah, righto.
You can click it to show, or you can click it to get rid.
That's it. Get rid of it. Well, I mean, it upsets Alan, didn't it? A lot, that has. I mean, he was, because I had a texting with him during the week, and he was really upset about it. He said, "Can't you do nothing about getting those two up there?" And I said, "Well, it's not for us. It's probably Jason that have to do that."
I know. I'm going to put a picture of me there, shall I?
So now we know. Anyway, so spiritual. What else is happening? Tell us something interesting.
New Zealand, mate. They've just passed the most extreme abortion bill in the world. It means that anyone can get an abortion at any time for any reason. They don't have to have a doctor there doing it. They don't have to give the baby any kind of pain relief. It's absolutely sick. If a baby survives through the abortion, is actually born alive, and they're under no obligation to give it any assistance.
That's murder.
Yeah.
No, that can't be. See, I've got no problem with abortion under certain circumstances. Absolutely none whatsoever. And if a woman wants to go for it, but it shouldn't be at 26 weeks. I think they go to 26 weeks. A baby can be born at 26 weeks. I mean, some people. I read in the Telegraph this week. There's a baby there, tiny little baby born at about 26, 27 weeks. I mean, how can you abort something that's got a heartbeat? How can you do it and a brain function? That's murder. If it's just like a.
We're talking about full-term abortions now, and parts of the state said they're passing a bill to up to 28 days after birth.
God help them. There's a God in heaven, mate. They're going to pay for that.
It's sick.
That is sick, really, isn't it? I mean, it's all Satan. It's all Satan's work. It's all the dark side's work, man.
Is this because the adrenochrome supply is starting to dry up, so they need more?
Absolutely. Yeah,
the godless creatures.
This is no different to what the Russians and the Germans did in the Second World War. So they were doing the most.
So we're told.
Yeah, so we're told.
See, we've seen the evidence from the abortion clinics. So what we do?
Cockney Patriot saying, "I'd like to join the stream, but I'll get the channel strikes. Get them done." Yeah,
I've got to say, he does sound my sort of man, doesn't he?
I've just got another channel strike on mine on YouTube.
What?
I put John O'Looney's recent video up from the 25th.
Yeah.
And within about 4 hours, it was taken down, removed, and I got a strike.
See, what I don't understand about all these community guidelines is, first of all, who's setting them? And that's like communism, because communism's all about suppressing truth. It's about running with a narrative. If we can't sound the alarm and sound the beacons, any of us on with whichever subject, and the subject that O'Looney's talking about is he's saying,
Dave, all he was doing was quoting the government website figures, the NHS NHS information.
Right. He's saying 74% of women that have had the double top in them are miscarrying, and that them babies are going straight, or babies that are born that die, and they go straight to the mortuary. They go straight to the. So what's that all about? Look.
Story this week, Dave. I think it's a local one. A woman, the baby had a stroke in the womb, and he was born with blood clots in the brain, and he's had to have an arm amputated. And of course, there's only one thing that can't cause shit like that at the moment, and that's the poison.
Fuck that.
Yeah, see, the thing with our shows is what we do is I guess if you was streaming into this for the first time and ever come across it, you'd probably sit here and look at us all now with the way we all feel a bit deflated and see us as all as manic depressives. Let me tell you,
No,
we are
not.
not. We are
Listen,
not at all.
Mate, you cannot wear a jacket like this with a blue Peter badge. Not going to say a blue Peter badge.
You weren't on Blue Peter.
That's a blue Peter badge and gold one and you cannot take me seriously wearing a jacket like this. So that's nonsense.
No, not really.
However, what is nonsense, Dave? It's climate change, right? Now,
Oh, of course.
I was doing a little bit of research, like you do. I was actually reading the back of my bag packet because you get so much more than that than you do out of any manifesto of the government or anything. And it's saying there's a guy called John Coleman. He's the founder of the Weather Channel, right? Now he was on I think it was CNN or CNN.
That was the last interview he ever had, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you see what he tore up the pieces? They didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
He was telling them it's a fix.
Mike, exactly the thing happened to David Bellamy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he changed his mind, didn't he, David Bellamy, when he found out the reality. Now, where it all goes horribly wrong, we say they go, well, there is this, there is that. Now, Barack Obama is a staunch climate. Everything's going to happen. The sea levels are rising. We're going to be overwhelmed with water. Everybody's going to go to high ground. All right, Barack Obama. Why is it then you spent $12 million or more on a beachfront property in Martha's Vineyard, which literally level with the sea? So why is that? Why are you worrying about?
If you had some beachfront and you wanted to develop it and you wanted $1 billion, you would get it in a heartbeat.
You've seen the house; it's fabulous what he's built. I mean, when he's gay, got his boys there. But I mean,
you're not going to invest in stuff if they think the sea levels are rising. Look at the water levels at Tower Bridge. There's a long history there.
There's no difference. There's no difference.
A bit.
Al Gore, the Mr. Oh my God, that we're all gonna scorch and die. Takes a private jet to do 50 miles. End of.
Yeah.
It just destroys the whole thing. His wife's a bloke, bigger cock than. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Anyway, but Michelle Obama is going to run for president, could run for president, and anyway, anyone's better than the one of the Clintons, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
No, he didn't. He didn't, but a cigar did.
Yeah. He says, as his DNA was all over her cardigan. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they got the frock, didn't they? She got the frock a lot, wasn't it? All over the place. Sad.
Anyway, moving on. So we're going to be hosting the Eurovision Song Contest next year, and they say Sam Ryder's going to be doing the narration to it and fronting it all up. I'm seeing this as just a big fucking crock of shit right now.
Dave, in Birmingham right now is the Commonwealth Games.
That's right.
It's cost 750 million quid. Right? Now we can find the money to do this Commonwealth 750 million quid. So a lot of people can run around a track really quick, okay, or jump in a sand pit, or do all kinds of wind works, and brilliant. What I do object to is that when they come off the track, they start telling you how to fix the world and how intelligent they are by telling you what you should and shouldn't do and how wonderful they are. And that's what really annoys me. Someone like you get all these guys that come over. It's bullshit, absolute bullshit. So that's what really annoys me. And I've got no interest in watching people run anyway. If I want to see someone run, I'll stand by a bus stop. And see people run the bus. I mean, that's basically it. I've got, anybody can do this. I don't care if somebody can run 100 yards in under 10 seconds. I really don't care. I admire anybody that can do it. It's like anybody can play a musical instrument or can solve the most complicated formula on the planet. But what I do really get upset about is the fact that I'm forced as a taxpayer to pay for it. I don't see why. Let business pay for it. Why should we have to fund it? It's Commonwealth Games.
They've got to keep everyone occupied. You're not allowed to look up from the hamster wheel. That's all I did years ago. I looked up from the hamster wheel. I decided to stop going around on the merry-go-round, and I just went like this. I looked up like a meerkat and thought, oh, okay, let's look around.
But there is another way of looking at what's going wrong in the world. In America right now, they just put interest rates up by 0.75. That's 72 basis points, which is 0.70, three-quarters of it's going to go higher and higher. We know that. Now, what does that do? That forces people out of their homes into rented accommodation. What does that tell you about the WEF? The WEF is when you've got nothing, you'll be happier. And this is the start of it. Isn't it just strange that all of a sudden, all these big companies like Shell made 10 billion quid the first three months of the year. One of the other big power companies have made 1.2 billion quid in the first 3 months, are doing tremendously well. Meanwhile, us poor sods are sitting there thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? How about a man with a wife and 2 kids who's now looking at £500 a month just to heat his home and do everything? Let me tell you what happened to me today. I'm with Eon, and I set up a direct debit to pay 250 quid a month, right, into it, because there's only 2 of us in this house, £250 a month, right? So I said to him, she said, is that enough? She said, because we're estimating on the last year that your bills should be £12,000 a year. That's what they're estimating, £1,000 a month.
What, for gas and electric?
Just electric.
No.
Yep. 1,000. It was £1,000 and £20 or something. £250 a week, right? That's what they're suggesting. I don't care how much it costs, right? How can you get 2 people living in a house, okay? 2 showers a day, couple of fridges, a fridge, freezer, couple of fridges, 3 fridges, fridge, freezer, 2 fridges. We've got electric and lights. How is that £250 a week?
It's a joke, man.
12, and I thought when I came off So Energy and they quoted £6,000, I thought, that's taking the piss. Now, £12,000, £1,000 a month. Now, is anybody out there who's listening to this heard anything worse than that? Because I live in a big house, but it's only 2 of us. It's still summer. We've got no heating on. We've got this underfloor heating. We go, oh, that's the killer. Well, that's not what it was designed for. It was designed to save you money. That's what underfloor heating was supposed to do. It's supposed to stop all using water. So we do this. You know, Dave, what it was supposed to do. My mate had it. He had it all over the place. He was generating so much power. It supplied 2 people either side of him. But and he had a little substation. But it was so anyway. So I thought underfloor heating was supposed to be there to keep things constant. But it isn't apparently. It's apparently going to cost at least
in 2008, right? When and this is official, my mate's shown me this. This is what's happened. The banks apparently were bailed out by the people. No. 50 large corporations bailed out the banks, and they were given carte blanche to do what they want, to print their own warrants. There would be no restrictions on how they perform and what they get up to. That is now why they're taking the mickey. That's why they turn up with the police, break in, swap your meters out without any due process of law. Why? Because they're bought and paid for. They've been given carte blanche. Government are going to turn a blind eye and let them just crack on. Well, at some point, if they carry on like that, then there's going to be. I just don't understand why the English, the Irish, the Scots, the Welsh people who live in this country put up with this. We seem to like being suppressed. We seem to like serfdom. We love being bashed by this. But now there ain't never going to be a time, Mike, when you're paying £1,000 a month to that electric company. I know. Where are you going to get £1,000 a month to pay them?
Well, fortunately, I can afford to do it. If it come to it, I can afford to do it. That's not the point. The point is, Dave, it's not affordability. It's the fact that £1,000 a month, no matter how rich you are, how well off you are, for two people living in any size of house. Now, you're a plumber, Dave. You understand this more than I do. You know how to regulate a house to get it as warm as you can with the limit, the least amount of power used. I mean, you don't need a radiator on every house, in every room. You don't need one on the stairs. You can have one in the bedroom. I don't like it in the bedroom anyway. So we'd have one radiator upstairs and perhaps one on down here. Now that they reckon. When I said that still might cost us £300 or £400 a month.
It's gone crazy. It's gone crazy, and it won't stop until there's going to be calamity. There cannot not be calamity. There's going to come a point where once you've taken it all from people and they can't do this, they can't square that off, they've got police coming in, do it. There's going to be a fucking war, man.
Dave, even if look, I mean, the people, I don't know. I mean, the people watching this, they might be on. They might go to work. They've got their wife, and they've got both go to work. I suppose they're bringing in 70 grand before tax, just for argument's sake, 70 grand. All right, let's take off. They got 50 grand. 50 grand, okay, and they got a mortgage, and the mortgage is and they'll stand at that. They can't get another deal, so their mortgage all of a sudden is on a 250 grand mortgage. It's I don't know, it's £1,000 a month, all right? That's 12,000 quid, and then all of a sudden, somebody comes along and says, now you've got to pay another £6,000 to heat your home. Also, that's £18,000 out your 50 grand. So now you've got 32 grand to pay for your car, pay for your clothes, your holidays, pay your credit cards, pay your eat, drink them. You can't do it, and you've got to get to work too. So it's impossible. It's impossible to believe that anybody can survive with the rates of these power companies and their charges. I mean, they're in charge. They're saying, "Oh, that's what we have to pay for it." Shell don't. Shell produce the stuff. Shell and all the oil companies. That's what it's sold on the market for. Well, fucking stop selling it for that and drop the price down to what's affordable.
Well,
otherwise, what's going to happen?
Well, the energy companies have hijacked a system that was put in by our ancestors. They've hijacked it, monopolised it. And that's not cricket. That's not cricket. No, sorry, mate. There's going to come a time and a point where we're going to have to take back control. We're going to have to do it.
Sorry.
We're going to have to do it. There's going to come a point where people are going to be so incensed and just they're going to have to start coming together in massive, massive numbers.
Dave, that's despair.
Yes, it.
That's despair, and that is to me about it's not just heartbreaking. That's not what this country's about. We're the sixth richest country in the world. Okay, we've got one of the strongest economies. We've got one of the best forms of government. Would you believe? Even now, we're less corrupt than most countries around the world. I mean, every country in the world is corrupt. You only have to look at our parliament to see how corrupt that is, and then think, "Oh my God, look at Africa, look at India, look at Pakistan, Bangladesh, look at Russia, look at all the Eastern European. Everywhere is corrupt. Everybody's skimming off the top." Okay, now this country is pretty good, considering that we have got people doing exactly that. Only they don't take as much as the rest of them. But it's got to come to a time when we, the people, turn around, because this is our fucking money, not their money. It's not for them to say what we can and can't have. It's not for them to say we can't afford it. We know what my mum and your mum and everybody else's mum out there, when they were brought up, when my mum was brought up during the war, they knew how to budget. They knew how to make a pound last into £2. They knew where to shop. Even my first wife, who was brilliant at shopping, she knew every shop to go and save a penny and a halfpenny. We're talking about the early 70s when I got married the first time. So this is without doubt the only way that you can budget for everything. You've got to know how to budget, and this country seems to say it doesn't matter what it costs, we'll just pay for it. And that's what's wrong with the NHS and every other government department. They pay, and we pay the bill for their impossible ignorance in how to do a job properly, how to get people in there to budget their ministries. Because I know, you know, Dave, as a businessman, you know when you go to look at a job, you know what it's going to cost you, how much profit you want to have it, how long it's going to take you, and you think to yourself, is this job doing for 10 grand? And you think, well, I can do it for 10. I can do it for 10. I'll make 3 or 4 grand profit out of it because it's taking you 2 weeks, perhaps 2.5. And you think, because of how good you are, you're worth over £1,000 a week profit. Of course you are, and you're probably worth more than that, because of what you do, because you do a fucking good job. And if there's a problem, you go back and put it right. And it doesn't matter if it went wrong 5 years later. The guy finally say, remember that bathroom you did for me 5 years ago? What's the matter, mate? Oh, well, I've got a leak. I'll come and sort that for you. And you wouldn't charge him a penny because you've got a moral obligation. And that's what the goodness of you, Dave, is, every time you come around my house and said, I'll do that for you, Mike. And I said, no, let me pay. No. And that's out the goodness of your heart. And you do that not just with me because I'm your friend, but you do it with people who are not your friends, but people you've done business with. And that's why people like dealing with you. And that's what's gone wrong with this country. People don't like dealing with the government because they don't fucking trust them. They don't trust them because they know they're going to get a raw deal. And like you said earlier, all these people who sit there day after day thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Who do I ask? There is nobody you can ask. There is nowhere to go. There's a woman on there tonight who was saying her husband had a heart attack and she's got a son who's got serious aspiration, all kinds of stuff, right? They can't, and the council don't have nothing to do with us. We can't help you. And he's had a serious heart attack. He can't go work. The wife is sitting there going, what am I going to do with this kid who's out of control? It's aggressive, and she has to sort of fight him off because this guy's so tough and so strong. And he's a big lump. He's got the mind of a 3-year-old, So, and they won't take him into care. They can't deal with him. So, what do we do? Where does she go? And the answer is, who gives a fuck? Because that's basically the attitude that you're living right now. And that's when the government turn, when I say successive government, say our NHS, our care system, yes, it needs improving, but we're doing a good job. No, you fucking ain't. You're not doing a good job.
The Queen of the North, she's been, she's all over YouTube. She's all right. She's been ringing up these libraries and that where they've been having these the kids in and they've been entertaining them with these various people. And she's got this woman second down the switchboard and she's saying to her, look, love, you need to have a word with yourself. You need to go home. You need to find your morals. You need to understand what you're doing is wrong. You're sexualizing children. And this woman on the other end of the phone, she's going, do you want me to take your complaint down? Do you want me to take it? It's like we're all speaking a different language. It's like whenever you ring anyone in government or anything councils, you're talking a different language because you're talking to them and you're saying, well, hang on a minute, let's have a look at this. And they're going, blah, blah, blah. It's like you're fighting. It's like they're the master and we're the serf and whatever they say, we have to do. That's not a country. That's not a proud, that's not a flourishing country when you're in that situation. So we're at a point where people don't check their morals. People ain't interested in listening to you pouring your heartstrings out and saying, listen, you're morally wrong. What you're doing with the kids is absolutely wrong. It's you shouldn't be doing it. And they're just sitting there and going, do you want me to take a complaint? Do you want me to take a complaint? Do you want me to take a complaint? They're not. I don't know what's the matter with these people. I really, really don't quite know what switched them off.
I think you do, Dave. You do know. You do know what's wrong. Of course you do. They don't care.
Yes.
It's like GPs. Don't want to come out at night. Don't want to work weekends. They don't care. Why should they care? Nobody gives a fuck, do they really? All they're interested in will give us more money. We want more money. We need like the RMT, Mick Lynch. Who the fuck is this guy? Mick Lynch. Oh, we want a national. If this trust gets made Prime Minister, we're going to have a national strike. Well, I'm going to call that a national strike. Well, I call that national. I sacked the fucking lot of them. I do what Ronald Reagan did with the airlines. He sacked everybody. Sacked the whole of the airline. Sacked them all. And that was it. And that to go and apply for their jobs. And that's what I do with the fucking unions. I would say to unions, I would say to them, fine, have your fucking strike and sack the lot of them. If you want to go on an 80,000 quid a week, go and fucking find it working in Tesco's. See, you're a train driver and you get 80 grand and it's not enough.
Unions have never really sorted anything out. They're just money making machines. £5 a week to be part of whatever union. but they just cause mayhem, and it's always after the horse has bolted. They're never. I just don't get unions. They don't work, and I don't think they ever have worked. I really don't.
I do think that unions are a good thing. You do need representation. If you've got a grievance and you've got a problem, you need someone that can stand with you and say, look, this is it. These are your rights. This is what you can do. This is what you should be doing. It's not right that a man like this fucking Mick Lynch and all these people who come out and say, we're not getting what we want. Now, we want 11%. They ain't give us nothing. And that's not true. They were offered 4% this year and 4% next year. And that was, and the executive said, no, we're not accepting that. It wasn't put to the membership, wasn't put to the guys. They were going to get 8%, 4% this year, 4% next year. That's 8% money, okay? And they're on 80,000 quid for a train drivers, 60,000 quid for not so good a train driver, and everything else. And it goes down the line. There's people working there for 25 grand. Yeah, but they work, what are they doing? They're doing 36 hours working in a booking hall, giving out tickets. This is what they do. If you don't like the job, leave. Go and get a better job somewhere. You don't have to sit there and take it and say, I want more money for this job. Go and get a better job. That's what your mum would tell you. It's what my mum told me when I said, I'm a labourer, mum. I'm sick of this. She said, well, go and you've got a brain, go and use it. And I did. And I made a lot of money. So that's what I did. I listened to my mum. They're not listening to anything other than the sound of £50 notes roughly from their think they get more and more and more. Who's going to end up paying for it? Who is going to end up paying for all this money that these unions are going to say, give us more and more? It comes out of profits. Well, if without the profits, which goes back to what we were saying earlier with Shell and all the other power companies, we all say it's outrageous, and it is that they make a huge amount of money. But what you've got to remember, Dave, is a lot of those people we invested in our pensions. So all those companies, I've got pension, whatever, and a lot of my money is in places like that. So and that is it. So don't sit there and think, oh my God, because they're paying you a dividend. They're paying dividends into pension companies, and that's where you make your money. So when you come to the end, you think, oh, thank goodness I had 250 shares in Shell, because over the years they've made me like 30 grand. What are you going to say then? Fuck Shell? No, you're going to say, well, thank goodness for Shell. So, and it's as simple as that. So I do find the whole thing slightly a little bit irritating as far as, yes, it shouldn't be making all this money or as much money, but at the same time, the other side of the coin is that they do provide a huge amount of money going into pension funds. And that is it. And Noisy Tony is world's full of fucked up conscience and warped moral compass. Absolutely right. And you get Noisy Tony, you're absolutely right, mate. I've got to tell you, it is a fucked up conscience and a warped moral compass, and exactly what it is, because people lost the way. They don't know how to look forward. They keep doing this. They keep looking at their peripheral vision. Oh, look, what aren't I getting? What aren't I getting? Don't look about what's in front of you. What aren't I getting? Never mind what's here. It's what's in front of you. But they don't give a fuck what's in front of you because they can have that. They want to know what everybody else is getting. And that's what, and he's absolutely Noisy Tony's absolutely right here. That's a well-made point, mate.
Have you met Tony yet when we've been up to London?
Tony
Piper, you've met Tony Piper, haven't you?
I don't know, Dave. We've been on the couple, haven't we?
Have we had a few beers up? I've had quite a few beers up in London with Tone.
Hang a sec. No, you had one or two. Own up. Own up now. Do you want to tell everybody just exactly what the last time we went to London and you got a little bit Dave is a bit of a lightweight when it comes to drinking. There's nothing wrong. But having said that, he's a working man and he had to get up to work in the morning, so he was being a little bit cautious. But having said that, but I wasn't.
I just can't drink. No, I know. I can't drink. I struggle with. Yeah. I don't drink much now anyway.
I've got to tell you, Dave. I love gin. I do, and I drink gin and ice, and the gin is lovely. But I've got right back into Tom Collins. And so if you want a really refreshing drink, all you out there, and you like a drop of gin and something's really refreshing, go with Tom Collins. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was into the old in the Vespa Martinis for a while, but at 25 quid each, it was getting a bit
You've met Mike, you've met Tony. Yeah, we sat and had some grub outside that thing that day when we was up there with.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Remember where we took? Well, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I remember. Right. Sorry, I don't remember your tag, but I probably if you come on and say hello, we'd like that, But we went to it. All right, okay.
We was there with Andy and Nikita and
Yeah, that's right. Well done, yeah.
yeah, it was good, man. It was good.
Well, I've got to tell you. I mean, did you? I sent out something today, and my daughter sent me this, and I don't know whether you got it. It's a petition that's gone round, and this is what the government are pulling on us. And it's well, let's have a look. Let me just find it. I can't. I know. It's a petition that's going through Parliament that's been turned down. Let me find, and I can never find it. You know, when I want to find something, I can never find it. You know, which is very heartbreaking because I'm such a nice boy. But where is it? Anyway, basically, it's something going to take away all our rights to demonstrate, to be, and it's going through Parliament now, and it's going to be the freedom of speech will be curtailed. Everything, and there's a petition going around. I think I sent it to you, Dave, which is on a tag. And it's something that's worth signing. There's nearly 200,000 people signed it so far, and it's about the curtailment of our right to demonstrate. This country has had a lot of people have given up their lives to have what we have right now. It's, right, you go back to. I mean, I remember being in the Vietnam demonstrations. You know, my friend still got, well, he's dead now, but he had a scar from here to here on his face where a policeman galloped past and smashed him in the face with a bat and split his face right open. And that guy was and he was pouring with blood, and I had a scarf on and I tied it around his head to stop the blood. And this guy still wanted to go and fight the police. He was determined and got arrested. I mean, they threw me over. I got jumped over the American embassy, and the police just threw me back again. You know, it was one of those. We didn't go out there. We didn't go out there to demonstrate about the Vietnam War. We went out there to fight the police. I was 15. 16.
What gives the old Bill the right to smash us in the face with cosses like that?
No right at all. There's no right. I mean, the thing is,
have you seen what's happened with Mark Sexton a few days? Well, I think it was last week.
Yeah, you told us. Yeah, reiterate. Would you just reiterate that, Dave? Just tell
everybody.
They
they organised to go to Charing Cross police station to give this evidence and facts over to an inspector or whoever was running the station. And when Mark called everyone to come into Charing Cross police station, they assaulted Mark, and then everyone else is in there. The coshes are out. They're getting slapped round the kneecaps. I mean, I don't understand this country. We are. I mean, you said, you know, Africa. I actually think in many ways, with the sinisterism of what goes on in this country, I think we're far fucking worse. I think London, the city of London, is the seat of Satan. That's what I think it is.
Well, we went to the central courts of we went out to court, and we went in there, and I said, and you know, as I walked in there, what it felt like in there, and it felt like it sucked your soul out of you.
There you go.
And this was the court where we went to see what's her name?
Royal Courts of Justice. That is.
Yeah, what's her name? What's the one we saw? That woman. She looked like Wicked.
Senior Master Dame Barbara Fontaine.
She looked like Wicked Witch of the West, and was clearly not interested in anything to do with the human race. And but as I said to you in the time, Dave, I felt my soul was being sucked out of that place. And I just, you know, you walk out, it's like you walked out there feeling like empty. Like there's no compassion there.
So in that building, when there's a case going on and they can't come to a conclusion or they can't work out the answers, they have runners, and these people disappear off. They go down. This is true story. This ain't me talking bullshit. This is verifiable. They have these people. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember the name of them. They're not praetors. They're called something. They've got this Latin term. But they disappear into the belly of that building, and when they come back, they have the answers to whatever it is they're trying to sort out. Now, my question is, who is it and what is it they're going down and seeking counsel with? Do you know what I mean? Who and what is it?
The thing is, Dave, you could make a very good horror film about that place.
Cool.
Because it's not. You see, the thing is, good horror isn't about someone with sharp teeth ripping your throat out. It's about the intent. It's about how you feel. And when I walked in there with you and what was his name?
My mate from up north. Yeah.
Went in there. I felt. I just didn't feel like I belonged in it. And this is a place. This is where Royal Courts of Justice. It should be exactly what it is, and it isn't. It's a place where you go to die or to be killed because it takes your soul in there. We're staying there. I mean, that guy we met in there was a really nice guy. He had happy smiling face and everything else. But I would never ever want to go in there and find justice, because there ain't any. There is no justice in the world unless you're very wealthy, and even then, being very wealthy, let's be honest. Who to whom do barristers own allegiance? Not to us, to the bar. Exactly. They are all in it together. They sit there going, "Oh yes, me lad. Yes, well, can I make a point of order, man? Can I clear the court? Point the law. Clear the court." And basically, they go in a little huddle and they sit there talking to each other. They say, "Look, sit down the pub later on and have a little lager. Or no, we've got a nice bottle of claret. We talk about it. And I mean, that's not what we want. We're not paying these guys 20, 30,000 pounds a day to defend us. Defend us from who? From a corrupt police force, a total corrupt police force. And I've got to tell you, I have now got first-hand experience from someone who's very close to me, who's actually been banged up for nearly 3 years by a police force, the NCA, who clearly didn't get him last time, so I've manufactured all the evidence to get him this time. And he is now been on remand. He was on remand for 2 years, and now he's been found guilty. He's found guilty by 9 people. They dismissed three of the court.
Hang on, they have to annul a jury if they haven't got full 12.
9 people found him guilty. Isn't it interesting? 9, but they dismissed 3 people. But the judge said 9 people's fine.
No, that's not. That's
found
not.
Him guilty. There you go.
Danny.
Exactly. So how does that work? 9 people found him guilty, and he could be facing 25 years.
We are the seat of Satan. This is why I feel like I do.
And you know him.
I know I do.
You know his cousin.
I know. Perry. Yeah, I know what goes on. But we are now at a point where we're at the seat of Satan. We are, with all the sexualization of the kids. They're building prisons that have got their own crematoriums in them. So you can be topped off in there, you're straight into a bin. Mate, sorry, I don't care what anyone has. All the fucking liberals out there in this country, you're now entering Nazi fucking Germany. Good luck to you. I hope the future's bright for you. I really fucking do.
Dave, as I said to you, as an aside, I'm not sure you heard what I said, but when you think about what the WF have been pushing for years and years and years, okay, they've been pushing when you have nothing, you'll be happier. They're taking away by pushing up interest rates, by this manufactured bullshit. They are doing the most appalling things to do what? To take everything away from us. They're trying to destroy us by saying, well, that's just the way the world economy is. Oh, don't worry. We'll put you in rented accommodation. It costs more money. Well, you have to work harder. I'll tell you what, we'll give you 3 jobs. You can work for nothing. While these fuckers sit in their gilded cages, making us do all the work while they run around like eating fucking beluga, carry on drinking Dom Perignon. And that's exactly how it's going to come to.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's just I'm just like having fucking nightmares and kittens that, like, say for instance, my son could get involved in a skirmish, could get found guilty, could end up in prison in one of these new places. Before I know it, I'm getting a phone call, "Oh, your son's fucking dead," and we've got rid of the body already. I mean, fucking hell. Excuse my French people at home.
Dave, that's what it's coming to, isn't it? That's what it's coming. We're getting back to we're getting back to concentration camps. I mean, they won't be called prisons. They'll be called places places of re-education.
Fuck me. We've only got a couple of minutes left, Michael.
Hey?
We've only got a couple of minutes left, darling. What do we want to end with tonight?
I've got to say, Dave, I mean, I wish I could end on a happy note. I really do. I wish I had a little joke to say. I wish I had something I could like the life, but there ain't nothing. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people are feeling absolutely fucking totally depressed and bullshit, you know. But what I can say is, you know, in all honesty, I've been there. I've been there with nothing. When I got sick and I couldn't even afford. I had to walk 2 miles to get the money somebody owed me, and I was in crying with agony. And I got down there and I made it. That money brought me back, and I went on to make £1 million because of what I did. So yes, so you can. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You've got to stay resilient. You've got to keep the faith. You've got to say to this brother, no, you ain't having it, mate. You ain't fucking taking it from me. You can come and take away the Stephanie and the Sally and everything else, but I've still got balls. I've still got a fucking heart, and I've still got the will to say, fuck you. And that's basically where it comes to. And so that's how you've got to be. You've got to stick together. And I'm with you. I mean, if Dave, there's the fucking best friend you can ever have. This man here is the best man you can ever have. You need to know that you ring him or contact him, he will always come back to you. And he's a light in a very dark tunnel. And there's people that he knows, if he can't help it, he'll put you on the people that can. So there is people out there. Never mind about the fucking social service. Never mind about the courts. Never mind about the law. You've got someone like Dave and people like Dave who know how to fuck these people big time. And that's where it's going to go, because nobody trusts those people. They're now looking at people like Dave to say, what can I do? How can you help me? And he's there every Thursday at 9 o'clock to say exactly that. And if you need him other than that, you can contact him through various ways.
Yeah. Bless your heart, Michael. That was very passionate, and we did enjoy that. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight, wherever you are out there in the big cyber world, the new future. And as always, my gorgeous co-host, Michael, is always effervescent.
I'm pretty gorgeous, actually.
You are very effervescent. So thank you to everybody. Keep it real. We don't do this because we want to depress you. We do this because we want to bring you information. Whether you pay attention or not, it's up to you. But you never know. You might get your bum tickled one day, and you might just need some information.
I'm still waiting. That's not happened to me yet.
I'm coming to see you.
The fickle finger of fate has never struck my posterior. Anyway, I'm on that happy note. Without further ado, good night, God bless, and may your gods all go with you.
God bless you all, people. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
And I'll see you soon, Dave, for breakfast.
Yes, you will, Michael. And have fun evenings, ladies and gentlemen. And keep it real, keep it funky. And we'll see you all very soon. Take care.